we should move to a place where he can be schooled. I've prayed on this.
Always more to learn here than in the schoolhouse.
He asks questions I can't answer. He's got a gift. Can't turn our backs on what God has given us.
When it comes to this kind of subject matter, would you say that your performances were more informed by historical facts or more by the screenplay that A.J. Edwards wrote?
In the end, it's always the screenplay, because it has to be. You've got to serve that. Otherwise, you're just, you're off on your own, and it's disrespectful. But, AJ's a man of great integrity, and, he grabbed as much research as he could. I mean, there's not a whole lot written on this period in Abe's life, and we're as faithful as could be. And then, but then he wasn't going for a straight biography by any means, because you couldn't. And, he brought his own poetic, realism to it.
Yeah, I think he made everybody into sort of detectives of mood and tone and feeling rather than of fact. And there was something really lovely about that, about this log cabin in the woods that was built to specification, was built with only materials they had, and the costumes were of actual cloth and fibers of that period, and everything was about surrendering and sort of time traveling really to that moment, and then feeling out as a human being what that would be like, rather than sort of historical, this happened on this day, which was a really cool way to explore a biopic.
The acting you guys do in this movie, it's very naturalistic, very restrained in some respects. And have you had a lot of experiences in movies where you've acted like that, or is this like a unique experience for you?
Well, you hope you can always act as natural as possible.
It'd be believable.
Right. Yeah. But, sometimes writing situations, filmmakers, it doesn't always work that way. Or the style of the film, it's not really supposed to be like that. So I personally love that style. I'm more attracted to it as a fan, as a viewer, but also as an actor, I enjoy it more. And it's great to have an opportunity like this with AJ's style and Terry's style to really reach and try to achieve that. Not only yourself, but the entire film is trying to achieve that.
It's great to see a movie where you don't see anybody with a cell phone in their hands, I gotta say. I mean, there's like no technology.
They were in our back pockets.
In the back pockets.
But even to follow that, he didn't rely on exposition to solve, plot points or to move things along. It was it lives in its own rules and world, and if you go in with that and open up to that, then you really will have an experience in the cinema watching this.
What would you say was the most challenging part of acting in this movie for you all?
I don't know if it was challenging so much as a pleasure to work with the two kids, young Lincoln and his sister, and he really went and did drama workshops at public schools in Kentucky and found them, and they'd never acted before, Braden, and it was such a pleasure to respond and react and work with a kid who's untrained and isn't trying to be an actor. They're just being. And so you are in that space with them, and there's nothing better than being reminded of what that is. Kids are usually better actors than even the best adult actors, and that's sometimes awesomely embarrassing because it reminds you, of where you've got to really get your craft from, which is like this facility of playing pretend and make believe and really being present and not repeating things, and so that was really a pleasure.
Yeah,
the rain in the tents was pretty tough.
That was hard.
No shoes in the woods.
The flooding of the tents. Remember when our tents flooded?
Yeah, no,
and there was like
everywhere.
this little square foot with heaters, and we were just sitting.
I woke up wet one day.
Yeah, from your nap. I remember that actually.
My nap, I was all soaked through.
He won't stay in these woods forever. He'll make his mark.